Good morning, everyone. We are getting close to the holiday of Purim. Of course, Purim begins on Saturday night, and it continues through Sunday evening. However, tomorrow is already the fast of Esther, which is usually observed on the day before Purim, but being that it's Shabbat, and we're not allowed to fast on Shabbat, and we're not allowed to fast on Friday, it's moved up to Thursday. So tomorrow is the fast of Esther, and then on Shabbat, it's called Shabbat Zachor, the Shabbos of Remembrance. The annual Shabbat of Remembrance, that we remember Amalek. We read the story of Amalek, how he attacked the Jewish people when they left Egypt, and the commandment to remember that in every generation there will be the descendants of Amalek who will try to annihilate the Jewish people, and we must destroy Amalek, these evildoers, from the face of the earth. But this year, a lot of people have been asking the question, what should Purim look like for us? In light of the fact that we are at war, and so many soldiers have died, and there's still over 100 hostages in captivity, and all the tragedy and the pain and the suffering that has befallen the Jewish people, on October 7th, should Purim be the joyous holiday that it always is, with merrymaking and festivities and drinking? And of course, at Palm Beach Synagogue, it will be a very joyous holiday, beginning with Saturday night, the reading of the Megillah, and then we're going to have a celebration, and then the big celebration on Sunday at 4 o'clock with Dudu Fisher coming from Israel. We're going to have a big tent in the parking lot with great festivities. But many people are questioning, should we really be celebrating in light of what's going on? And when I thought about it, I realized that this year is like no other year, because we actually started celebrating Purim on Simchat Torah. We know that Simchat Torah and Purim are the two happiest days on the Jewish calendar, and the Jewish people worldwide started observing Purim on Simchat Torah. Because what are the main two commandments of the holiday of Purim? Mishloach manot, to send gifts of food to one another, and to give matanot lavionim, charity to the poor. And ever since October 7th, every single day, Jews around the world have been sending gifts of food to one another. Within Israel, everyone is cooking food and sending it to the soldiers and to the families of the hostages and to the families of the reservists. Literally every day, thousands and thousands of meals are being sent of food to one another. And Jews from the diaspora have been coming to Israel in droves and going to the army bases and making barbecues. So every day there's been food gifts given from one to another, like never before, perhaps since the story of Purim began 2,500 years ago. And charity to those in need, matanot lavyanim, once again, there's never been such an outpouring of philanthropy, of generosity. I'm sure every one of us could look at our checkbooks and our credit card statements and see that we've given more charity in the past 5 months to Israel than maybe any other 5-month period in our lives. And so over $1 billion was raised just in North America. So every day we've been doing the mitzvot of Purim, giving food baskets and meals, as well as charity. But it's not just the commandments of the day, but it's the very theme of Purim that we're living with each and every day. The whole story of Purim is that there's good and evil. There's the righteous Mordechai and the wicked evil. And Haman wants Mordechai and every Jew to bow down to him. He wants the Jew to capitulate, to surrender to evil. And one Jew, Mordechai, is a proud Jew, and he will not bow to Haman. Lo yichrev lo yishtachava. He says, I'm going to stand tall and proud in my Judaism. I'm not going to give in to anti-Semitism. And every Jew worldwide has been like Mordechai. Since October 7th, every Jew in the face of evil, in the face of anti-Semitism, has stood up like Mordechai and said, we are proud Jews, we will not cower in the face of evil. And especially our brave soldiers who have gone to war to defend the Jewish people. They are the ultimate Mordechais. Every one of them is as righteous as Mordechai, who in the face of evil did not blink, did not hesitate, and stood proud and tall, defending the Jewish people, the Jewish homeland, and Judaism itself. And just like there was Haman in the story of Purim, and the Jews went to war to destroy and to wipe out Amalek, the descendants of Amalek, whether it was Haman or in recent generation Hitler or now Hamas, every Jew has been in a fight against Haman every single day since October 7th. And so perhaps there's never been a time like this year to celebrate Purim, because the message of Purim is the message we have to share with the world, that there is good and evil. The Hamans of the world want to destroy the Jewish people for no other reason than that they are anti-Semites, just like Haman. They don't need a reason. They have excuses, but those are all excuses. And just like the Jews didn't hesitate to wipe out Haman, so too we cannot hesitate to do the job. And of course the world will not let us. They will try to accuse us of war crimes. But go ahead and accuse Mordechai of a war crime. Because of those war crimes that Mordechai committed in the eyes of the world, we are here, and Haman and his descendants are not here. And sadly, when we see many Jews, including the Senator, Majority House Leader Chuck Schumer, who unfortunately, as we saw in his speech on Thursday, saying that there's 4 obstacles to peace, and equating Hamas with Benjamin Netanyahu, we realize that our own Jews don't understand the message of Purim, that there is Haman, and then there is Mordechai. There's good and there's evil. It's very simple. Don't confuse it. And therefore, how dare you, as a Jew, give a hechsher, give a stamp of approval to the atrocities that are being committed against the Jewish people by equating Hamas, an evil, barbaric terrorist organization, with Benjamin Netanyahu, the free leader, democratically appointed leader of the state of Israel, whether or not you like him or agree with him. This is the confusion that we see amongst Jews, how much more so the world. And therefore this year the message of Purim must go out loud and clear like no other year. I never met my great-grandparents because my mother's parents, who survived Auschwitz, lost their parents in Auschwitz. Imagine if my great-grandfather came to me and I said to him, you know, today, which is actually today, Wednesday, Grandpa, Zeta, we're having a summit for countering anti-Semitism in Palm Beach, and it's sold out at the Colony Hotel, a whole day and then an evening. Because there's so much anti-Semitism in the world, I would tell my great-grandfather. And so our synagogue is putting on a countering anti-Semitism summit. And my great-grandfather would say to me, what? You have a synagogue in Palm Beach? And I'd say, yeah, but it's terrible. The whole world is condemning Israel. The whole world is coming up against Israel and speaking badly about Israel. And my great-grandfather would say, there's a state of Israel? And I'd say, yeah, but Grandpa, it's terrible. The IDF is already eliminated 80% of the Hamas terrorists, but the world doesn't want to allow the Israel Defense Forces to go in and kill the last 20% of terrorists in Rafah. And my great-grandfather would say, there's an Israel Defense Forces that's able to protect Jews? The miracle of Purim is that we're here, not just to tell the story, but to continue the story every day as proud Jews. When we celebrate Purim and we do what our ancestors did for 2,500 years, that's the greatest victory. As someone once said, we've never had it so good when we've had it so bad. Yes, we have so many challenges, but we have so many blessings as well. When we say never again, we don't mean that never again will there be a Holocaust or an attempted Holocaust. What we mean to say is never again will they get away with it. Never again will there not be repercussions for those who try to kill innocent Jews. So have a meaningful fast tomorrow and a joyous Purim. Happy Purim.